What's up, interwebs? It's me, KioKilla, and today I'm here to review Skyrim Special Edition for the Xbox One. Let's get started. The Elder Scrolls series, which is comprised of many games, namely Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, is one of the best series of games I've ever played. Each game has you exploring a different area of Tamriel, a massive continent on the fictional planet of Nirn, and each time Bethesda makes a new game in the series, I feel that they greatly improve upon the work they did in previous titles, and Skyrim, being their most recent single-player Tamriel excursion, is no exception. Being that the game came out in 2011, I'll simultaneously try and get to the good stuff for those that have played it already, and give a brief overview for those that haven't. Skyrim takes place in Skyrim, the northern region of Tamriel, and from the onset, you're caught in the middle of a civil war that takes place between the Imperial Legion and the Stormcloaks. You know, your classic Empire versus Rebels scenario. You find out in time that you are a Dragonborn, meaning that you can absorb the souls of dragons and use dragon powers. Over 9,000! And throughout the game, you must quest to prevent the destruction of the world, and also pick sides, because Mommy and Daddy are always fighting. The main questline can be beaten in a relatively short amount of time, and it's great. But what really makes this game shine is that the world is open to you, and can be approached in a near infinite amount of ways. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of side quests, and dozens of dungeons and areas to explore. And as with the open world, building your character requires experimentation and exploration to fully flesh out, and all of these things mesh together to forge an incredibly rich and rewarding experience. The combat is a lot of fun, which is good, because you'll be doing a lot of it, and it feels solid. When you smack an enemy that's blocking, your weapon will bounce off, or when you get the final blow on an enemy, and the camera does the dramatic slowdown thing, you feel like a badass. Combat uses either the right or left trigger for your weapons, spells, or shields, and the right bumper, or R1 on the PS4, is reserved for one of your dragon shouts, which are dragon abilities you'll unlock as you progress through the game. And you can mix and match the way you play. Want to use an axe and a shield? Great! An axe and fire? Do it! Fire and lightning? You're scaring the children! And when you use a specific weapon or spell, you gain experience with that specific weapon type or spell type. All of the experience gained by using different weapons, skills, and even things like sneaking contribute to your cumulative experience to level up your character. And each time your character levels up, you're granted 1 point to spend on increasing your health, stamina, which is used for physical activities like blocking or power attacks, or magicka, which is your mana source for spellcasting. You're also granted perk points that enable you to increase the effectiveness of whatever type of combat you prefer and or use frequently. The higher the level of the skill type you've been using, the more advanced modifiers you can unlock to enable things like slowing down time while using your bow and arrow if you've leveled up your archery enough, or when you double fist the fire spell, it'll initiate a more powerful and advanced fire attack. The graphics and sound design were both incredible when they came out, and the sound design has held up splendidly over the years. The visuals, however, still look great, but haven't aged quite as well. Some of the animations are pretty stiff, and the textures, though higher resolution and with anti-aliasing on modern consoles, are still sort of hit or miss. I think that can be mostly attributed to the team at Bethesda trying to strike a balance between visual fidelity and the enormous scope and depth of the game as a whole for multi-platform functionality. What has been upgraded noticeably from the Xbox 360 is the resolution of the textures, anti-aliasing that smooths out the rough edges, the lighting, a more vibrant color palette, better water, the world is more dense with foliage and particle effects, and there are greatly improved load times thanks to the beefier hardware on the Xbox One. Yeah. There's plenty that I didn't have time to talk about, like the assortment of crafting options ranging from blacksmithing to enchanting, the different types of magic, factions you can join and become leaders of, these guys that appear to be basically the same person, the exhilaration of fighting dragons, the inclusion of all 3 DLC packs, and much more. What I can tell you is this. I've spent hundreds of hours playing Skyrim on both the Xbox 360 and the PC, and have loved every minute of it. The Xbox One version is no different. This special edition bridges the gap between the PC version and the old 360 and PS3 versions with better visuals, less bugs, and the ability to download and add modifications to the game, like extra quests or new armor or whatever the mod community has come up with. If you've already played this game for hours and hours on any other platform, then this may not warrant another $60 purchase. For those that never got to experience Skyrim and are considering getting it, or those that are like me and haven't played it in years and want to experience it again on your modern spiffy console, I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you so desire, check out this other stuff. You guys are amazing as always. I'll see you next time. Later!